Okay, so I'm going to call this meeting of the Board of Supervisors of Elections to order on May 29th, 2020. It is now 3:08 p.m. Do roll call to order and roll call.
Cliff Myers, member, present.
Regina?
Regina Watkins Eldridge, City Clerk, present.
Ashley
Brianna
Leonard,
Coffey, member. Oh,
Okay, Brianna, she's here. And Ashley, okay. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for May 21st, 2020. Cliff and Brianna, did you get a chance to look at them?
I did look at them yesterday, Wednesday. I didn't have any comments.
Okay. The only comment I had on looking at it again was under the campaign issues that are still outstanding. If we could put the full name, we have the Democratic Central Committee and we have John Moyer. Could we put Alderman Gay's full name in, and also Yanis Kakarani, his full name, and amend it?
I move that with the comments suggested by Chairman Leahy that we accept the minutes.
Okay, second.
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any opposed? No. All right, so if there's no other changes, so we're good. All right, next item is on, let me get my right thing, is the discussion on the draft of the resolution for 2021 election. So I believe we actually have two resolutions.
Ms. Leahy, we've lost your sound. You're not muted.
Here? No?
There, now we can hear you. I think your microphone just got covered up.
Oh, okay. The next item is the draft resolution titled 2021 Elections. And we recently, just about a half hour ago, got the most updated version of that.
yes. The only change I made was for the voting by mail, instead of in certain emergency situations, I deleted that and said as may be mutually agreed to by the City of Annapolis Board of Supervisors of Elections and the Anne Arundel County Board of Elections.
Okay.
I see that. Okay.
Although I might have put an extra S in elections, so I can take that out, but I was trying my.
Nope, I want to see one S.
Okay. So I figured that was more in keeping with how I had drafted the MOU, which is we weren't tying it to an emergency. We were just tying it to as how you guys would agree to proceed.
Right. So we may go that direction, we may not.
Correct. Yes. As may be
Just gives-
mutually agreed.
Should go. All right. Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Good. Okay. Do you see it now, Cliff?
Yeah, I pulled up a copy.
Okay.
Oh, you brought it. Oh, you put it up on. Well, I've got it on my screen. Yeah. So just a quick question about vote by mail. So in terms of vote by mail, does that require the council to approve, or is that solely under our purview?
Well, the way I wrote the resolution, it would be under your purview. So they would approve this resolution that says that you guys could do vote by mail as may mutually be approved by your board and the county board. So that you would not have to go back.
Right. Do you think that that in itself may gender a considerable amount of conversation before they'd be willing to approve the resolution?
Maybe, but I'm not sure it's a conversation you necessarily want to postpone at this point. I mean, if you're going to do the, I mean, you can, if you're going to do the delegation, I think
Right.
the subject will come up anyway, given the current situation. And there will be council members who are aware that the state has shifted how they're doing it, and they will probably raise the issue anyway. But it's up to you whether you want to include it in this or if you want to postpone for another day. And we can just do a separate resolution.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just don't know, what to expect from the council if they say they'd rather have, a fair amount of conversation first before agreeing to a vote by mail, and it's part and parcel of this resolution.
But they're
Yeah.
not, how does this work again in terms of the resolution? Does this have to go through first reader? Because we are doing a work session with them
Yes,
in June.
yes,
So when this gets presented to them, it goes to first reader, correct?
yes, and it would go after your work session.
And it would go after our work session.
Yeah, so it's looking like June 22nd agenda item.
So we would have the opportunity to discuss it with them at the June 21st work session. And
June
then-
18th.
I'm sorry, June 18th. And then this would go in the following Monday. So if we needed to make changes, we could make a change.
Well, the packet for the city council goes out on the 17th of June for the 22nd meeting. So if you wanted to request any change, you would have to do it by that Wednesday, the 17th.
Okay, but for Cliff's, to answer Cliff's, do you feel, but I mean, we will have talked with them about it before this goes to first reader.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
Right.
because the work
Yeah.
session is on the Thursday before the city council meeting.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that that's a topic that may find itself with a fair amount of perhaps other conversation. That may have a desire for a separate vote, authorizing that the city proceed with a vote by mail for its own elections, as opposed to it coming through by way of this resolution.
But the council can change that if they want. I mean, this is introduced.
Yes, they can amend your resolution before they adopt it, yes.
You can,
Right.
Can't
Yeah.
hear-
Can you hear me? Am I going in and out?
That's Eileen, I can't hear her.
it's me again.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I can hear you.
So Cliff, I understand your concern. The other concern that goes with that is just the timing.
No, agreed. I mean, we haven't actually, taken a firm position at this point in time, yay or nay that, yep, we're going to do vote by mail come September and November 2021. And what we wanted to do is to be sure that we can proceed with, we need to start talking with the county, and wanted to be able to have that greased so that we can begin to do that. So the yes, I'm not sure, does in order for us to begin to have conversations with the county and to begin this process going, and does vote by mail need to be part of this?
Ashley?
No, you can do delegation first, and then you can always come back with another resolution that says you want to do vote by mail. Although I'd have to check if city council even really needs to approve vote by mail, because technically that's under your authority, but it probably would be best to send it to them just given the nature of it. But no, right now you could just do a simple delegation that says you're gonna work with the county board like you did for the last election and leave the question of vote by mail to a later date.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that whether it's the whether the city is the one that does it or whether the board is the one who chooses to go vote by mail. I'm thinking that that might be the kind of thing that we would hold either as a city or as a board, public hearings on making that decision. I'm just worried about the verbiage here, appearing, even though it's not a fait accompli, but appearing somewhat a fait accompli, without there having been much discussion at this point between us, the city council, or the council and the public.
Brianna,
Yes.
do you want to, if you can, you want to weigh in on your thoughts?
I mean, I get Cliff's point. I think we at least need to do the basic resolution so we can start talking with the county. And then we could always go back with the resolution once we've sort of finalized the terms of the MOU, which at that point might include vote by mail.
Right.
Okay, well, again, looking at the timing, I mean, this
Yeah, well,
does not mean that we have to do it. It means we have the option of doing it. And in some ways, I think this is actually providing us with an opportunity to introduce it.
Well, how about if the verbiage was slightly modified and maybe it was, to include the option for voting by mail, or something said that some other qualifying statement that doesn't have as much of the sound as if, I mean, I know it says as be mutually agreed to.
And it says may.
It's the phrase "and providing for," which I think in the phrasing, even though it says maybe, but it's that phrase that I'm
Ashley,
cautious about.
Can that be changed?
Yeah, so what you would do is if you want to adopt and approve this today, you would just adopt it with amendments and you would let Regina know the specific amendment, and then you would adopt it as amended and we would update it in accordance with your amendment.
So what's your, Ashley, what's your feedback as far as how this could be phrased to encompass what Cliff is thinking?
Let me see. And what about, and allowing for the option to vote by mail as may be mutually agreed to?
Oh, hello there.
I think I would prefer maybe providing for the option of voting by mail as may be mutually agreed.
I'm good with that as well.
Okay, Regina, do you have something?
I was just gonna say that, I thought somewhere in the code it said basically that we use whatever the county uses, whatever method or of election that they choose, we kind of do the same thing. But I know you guys have the authority to change it, but I think it says that somewhere, doesn't it, Ashley?
Hold on, let me check.
I think it does. It says we use whatever technology that the state approved for the county, but you have the authority to do something different. Just a question.
Good point.
Let me see if I can find that section. Hold on.
All right,
Okay.
well,
All right, delegation of authority. It says the city council may contract with the Board of Supervisors of Elections for the county to administer any election conducted under the provisions of the chapter. However, such delegation of administrative responsibility shall not derogate from any ultimate decision-making authority granted under this title to the Board of Supervisors of Elections of the city. Let me see if it says, so it's not in that section. Let me see if. Oh, here it might be. Okay. So in section 4.24.060, voting machines provision specifications, under B, it says the board shall adopt for each city election the latest procedures concerning the use of voting machines and devices as developed and issued by the Anne Arundel County Board of Elections.
That's it?
Right, but we would still be using that even if it's vote by mail. Because you still have a physical presence, you still have a physical polling place.
But yeah, under the, there'd be a single physical voting place as opposed to 16 precinct voting places.
Not necessarily, because actually city code requires that there be, the way it's written now, requires that there be one in each.
So 8.
Would be, and the question then becomes, does a drop box qualify as a polling place? But that can be addressed later.
I suppose if it's the latest devices as developed by the county.
Then it could be, huh?
Okay.
Well, Brianna,
Yes, I'm here.
are you able to chime in, or I don't know how much you've been able to?
I've caught bits and pieces. I mean, I'm fine with amending it from what I've heard.
So amending it, what verbiage are we talking about amending it? Or are we talking about we need to take it out and discuss it more?
All right.
And I like adding the word option. I'm still just wondering whether or not this devolves into any larger discussion in regard to the procedural process of voting by mail.
Well, there's going to be discussion. There's going to be public. This is just putting it in there. I thought for clarification, this was discussed at our last meeting, and my thought was that we were putting it in to clarify mostly for the time issue.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not sure that from the time issue perspective that that whether the election turns out to be vote by mail or whether it turns out to be traditional, whether that process,
let's say we don't include it.
Risk.
Let's say we don't include it. And come October, the decision is made as we are going to go with vote by mail. Are we going to be blocked from doing that because we didn't include it now? Or are we going to have to put in, if we don't put it in now, are we going to need to put in a new resolution, and that's going to take time and slow us down?
Yeah, I guess, going back to the key thing we talked about earlier is the decision to go to, using vote by mail, and then thinking about the phrase that Ashley is just reading, if, that is what the county, is doing for the general election, and it is the most recent approach, and it code suggests that or says the word shall in terms of how we would conduct the election. Does that make it all somewhat moot?
Well, they may choose not to do it next year.
Right.
So in
Which is true.
2021, the county may choose not to. But it is a method that they have.
Which goes to part 2 of the question, which again is who, and I think Ashley, you've already answered this, so I'm probably just repeating this, but under whose authority is it to do vote by mail? And is that is that still something which needs to go through the city council for a definitive vote that elections in the city of Annapolis of 2021 will be conducted vis-a-vis vote by mail.
Let me see. You have the power to make all necessary rules and regulations not inconsistent with this chapter with reference to the registration of voters and the conduct of elections, unless otherwise expressly provided. All questions arising with rules and regulations shall be decided by a majority of the board. So frankly, I don't think it has to go to city council, because between the other provision that where you have to use whatever new equipment, devices, and procedures the county uses, because we're using their equipment if we delegate to them, and that you have the power to make all necessary rules and regulations not inconsistent. There's nothing in chapter 4.08 that says you can't switch.
So you're saying we could switch without going back to the council?
I think so. I think legally you could do it. Now, the next question is whether, as a courtesy, you should let city council know what's going on,
Yeah.
which is a
Yes.
different question.
And that's part of what my thought was that this is doing.
Yes, this would just sort of, because in theory, you sort of decide how registration voters and conduct of the elections, which would including how you accept votes, is within your power to make. But that being said, I'm sure all of the council members, especially the ones who will be rerunning, will be very interested, involved in wanting to know if vote by mail is done, how it's done.
Right.
So,
Okay, all right, tell you what, I like the word, can we live with the word contingency as opposed to option? And providing for the contingency of voting by mail as may be mutually agreed.
I don't like contingency because it has to be deemed on a specific reason.
Yeah, I don't really like the word contingency either.
I think option, I mean, I think we're putting it out there. We're saying providing to include the option of. I think either I'm okay with including option. Again, Yes, Regina?
I like it. And no matter what you put in there, if the council has a different view on it, they're going to change it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's almost, Cliff, to your points, this is a bit of transparency saying we've just been through this. This is something that we may be doing as we start the election calendar very soon. So this is on the table. It doesn't say we're going to do it. It doesn't say we're not going to get input. It's just saying we
Agreed. I was just trying to be sure that as we talk through this, that we can, respond cogently to anybody who may, inquire about, well, wait a minute, what do you mean you're going to, when did we have a discussion or agree to go to vote by mail for the city of Annapolis? COVID will be long gone. Yeah, I'm not saying it will be. I'm just, come next year, we don't need to do vote by mail. Just trying to, think through those kinds of possible objections that might, come up, and seeing, is this an end run to just slip through and do vote by mail for the city? That's all.
I think slipping it
Okay.
through would be if we decided at a meeting on a Thursday night
No.
to do it. And then it created a bigger discussion later.
Right. Okay.
All right. Any further discussion? Is there a proposed amendment on the floor?
That the resolution concerning the 2021 election be modified under the, I think it's in both sections, right?
What?
Yeah, and in both sections, both in the introductory clause as well as the be it resolved clause, that in line 42 and line 24, that it be phrased and providing for the option of voting by mail. And with that amendment, would propose that we submit for approval to the the board.
Just want to make sure. So you got line 5, line 24, and line 42, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, line 42.
I'm sorry, Ashley, could you repeat that one time? You just say line 5, line 42. and
Line 5,
20.
24, and 42.
Thank you. I missed line 5. Yes.
And it says, and providing for the option of voting by mail.
To provide for the option of.
And providing for the option of voting by mail.
Is that
Correct.
it, Cliff?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, all right, that worked out. One other question I had regarding this, Ashley, do we need to get these dates put in here? Or,
Yes, we will, but I think we can wait a smidge longer, or, I mean, will we know it? We probably won't know. Do we know yet when the dates will be? Probably not.
yeah, well, I sent them in. It's the primary is the third
Tuesday.
third Tuesday of September. And the general is the first Tuesday.
First Tuesday after the first Monday
of November.
Which
So
makes
I
that the third, right?
Okay, so maybe add that amendment
Something I
into that.
think. Oh, I'm in the wrong year.
all right,
In November 2nd.
We put the date in because we haven't submitted it to anybody and it's just first reader. So do they need to do an amendment to fix it? You can just add it. And we can just add it. I mean, everything they're doing an amendment to, we haven't sent it anywhere. So can't we just add it?
Yeah, just
The
say
draft.
that. Yeah, we just need that the board, all 3 members, or at least 2 of them, approve adding the date.
right.
Okay.
So the third Tuesday of September is the 15th. And the first.
Nope, it's the 21st.
All right, you're right. I'm looking at 2020. Thank you.
September 21st, 2021 primary. And then it's November
2nd.
2nd, 2021 is general.
Okay.
And we're adding that to resolution R blank blank. Oh, well, I guess we can use the title.
Do you need it? So we don't need an amendment?
You are making the amendment. Who's moving it?
I move to add the dates of September 21st, 2021 for the primary and November 2nd, 2021 for the general, and adding those dates to the resolution as discussed.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Excuse me, everybody. I have to step out for a second. Takia's going to sit in with you for 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Ashley, is there anything else needs to be done on this?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, all right. Now, we don't have the absentee ballot resolution on the agenda, I realized. But I think we were planning to do that today also.
You can just vote to add it.
Okay, so can I have a motion to add discussion of the ordinance for the deadline for absentee ballots?
Motion to discuss. Or
Cliff, can you second?
Second.
Second, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
All right, so we also have the deadline for the absentee ballots, which was updated this afternoon because and Ashley has added that it is before and
Before.
on. The on had been omitted before. So I'm looking for the appropriate line.
It's line 7.
Seven?
It was mailed on or before election day. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I don't have lines. Let me see. Okay, it's on the other page. All right, I was on the wrong page. So yes, on page 7, it reads, it was mailed on or before election day.
Right.
Okay. Any discussion needed on making that change. The change is actually in that paragraph and also the following paragraph. So we're looking at page 2, number 1, section B, line 7 through 12, and then 14 through 16.
Correct.
You need something? I need your opinion. Okay. So that committee meeting.
It looks okay, Cliff and Brianna?
Hold on a second.
Let me. Page 7. Yep.
All right. I move to accept the,
Do you have a question, Brianna?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay.
all right, so I move to accept the ordinance as presented for the amendment to the timeline for the acceptance of absentee ballots.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Great. Okay, so those 2 points of business are done. Any other discussion?
If it's okay, yeah, I did note, so congratulations to Eileen. You've been back as chair for 1 week and we've gotten 2 of the reports filed already. So congratulations.
I don't think that's me. So, yeah, we can take a look at
That's-
those and then deal with them at the next
Yep.
meeting.
Yep.
And then hopefully
That's
get
good
the
news.
other 2 in. I will get my comments back to you on the campaign reports. Being the techno idiot that I am, I probably didn't save the comments that I put in there. So I will get them to you and then we can finalize that at our June meeting and get that up and going.
All right.
Sounds
Brianna,
good.
do you have anything to add?
Mm-mm.
No. I don't know if Regina is back yet or not.
I am back.
All right, do you have anything to add?
No, Cliff, could you do me a favor and resend that letter where you wanted me to put it on letterhead? Resend the email, please.
Oh, are you speaking of the
To
The
Mr.
website?
Conley.
website issue?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do
Yes,
that.
and I will do that today.
Okay,
Yeah, we have our budget meeting, so I wanted to get it out of the way. And
okay,
you guys, your next meeting is going to be on the 18th,
Right,
7 p.m.
and that will be an online meeting also.
Yes.
Ashley, do you have anything else?
I do not, other than if you need my backup on getting the 2 other reports in, just let me know and I'm happy to make calls.
All right, sounds good. All right, any other business? All right, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
second,
Second?
I
I'm sorry,
second.
Second, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thanks, everybody.
All right, thank you, everybody.